Hello, football enthusiasts. Welcome to Blaqsport Podcast. I am your host, like always, Isune Tuchi, and I'm still on the wheel to take you through what is happening in the African Cup of Nations 2025, happening live in Morocco. We are in match day 9 of the African Cup of Nations 2025. It's an interesting time to be an African because every single thing is happening in Morocco. And just to actually give you a little bit, like I promised yesterday, I have someone here who is actually live in Agadir in Morocco. He is a Moroccan journalist. He's no one else but Joshua Kosimbom. Welcome to Blaqsport Podcast. Welcome, Joshua.
Good evening. Greetings from the city of Agadir in Morocco. Very cold, but then the football ambience is hitting the whole place up. It's an opportunity.
I know. Yeah, so we kind of lost the reception in there just for 1 second. So just to actually get you up to speed, how is the environment? I learned that the Cameroonians actually training in Agadir. Is that correct?
Of course. I mean, the atmosphere here has been one that actually makes everyone excited to be here.
Okay.
And Cameroon, I'm talking as a Cameroonian fan, very excited about the performance of our team. Tomorrow, we expect something superb. And yes, Morocco is a special place, beautiful city, and the people are very welcoming as what I have seen so far since I came here, from Casablanca to Agadir to Rabat to Marrakesh, Tangier, Fez, everywhere. I mean, Morocco was ready for this AFCON.
All right, I can actually see that. So, please, the visuals might speak, but actually hear your voice is very important. And now, just to bring you up to speed about our discussion for match day 9. So, match day 9 is really an interesting one, having Group C and D, which is the features right on the screen, which is Tanzania versus Tunisia, Uganda versus Nigeria, Benin Republic versus Senegal, and then Botswana versus Congo DR, which is actually an interesting features. Nothing is actually more to these features because Nigeria has already qualified in this stage, and we are going to take it a step at a time. So just go through that to see what really happened today. So the first match we're going to discuss about is having the Tanzania and Tunisia. So this game was quite an interesting one, having a penalty for the first half for the Tunisian side, having Gabi scoring the 43 minutes. And then in the second half, you can see that Saloum equalized. To me, I would say, Saloum's goal, for me, ranks among the top best 3 goals of this tournament I've seen. I know I don't want to take away the bicycle came from Kabi. Yes, that's a sign, but Saloum's goal from outside of the box straight up to the far end corner actually made me mesmerized all by feelings. I couldn't actually expect that to actually find the back of the net. To me, that still ranks my best goal in this tournament. Now, I want to ask you, Joshua, Tanzania and Tunisia ending in 1-1 scoreline. Were you expecting that scoreline?
You know, it was actually a surprise because for anyone regarding the odds ahead of the game, you would have expected Tunisia to turn out better, winning the first game, and then against Nigeria, we saw Nigeria leading, and then Tunisia almost came back because it ended in a 3-2 tie in a 3-2 game where Nigeria won and earned their qualification even before playing today's game. But then Tanzania coming back showed what Tanzania has been working on for the past years. When you look at the Tanzanian championship, you see what they have been doing. You see the likes of Simba, you see the likes of Yanga, you see the likes of Azam. Fortunately, the goal scorer Faisal Salum, former player of Yanga, who presently plays for Azam Football Club, Azam Sports Club, actually, he is the one who scored that goal that earned Tanzania the qualification. I mean, everywhere in Tanzania, they will obviously be celebrating him because they often call him in Tanzania Zanzibar's finest. And of course, having I think he's the most expensive Tanzanian player as at the moment. And every other team is looking out for him, and having Faisal Salum score this goal tells an importance of how powerful the Tanzanian league is, because it is not a player from outside the league, it's a player from the NBC Premier League that scored. So he told a story of Tanzanian football's growth, a Tanzanian player ensuring that Tanzania qualifies to the second round only, against a tough opponent, Tunisia, because Tunisia is often, for me, a silent contender for every AFCON. And when you look at their performances, even before World Cup qualifiers, they are one of those teams that always showed up. And yes, their first game, they did the job. And against Senegal, against Nigeria, Nigeria was powerful. And today we expected them to turn things around, but then Tanzania showed up. And yes, they got it. So I think it was a game to look forward to, and the result actually is good for both sides.
Yes, definitely. It's good for both sides. This game, watching Tunisia play against Tanzania, made me wonder, how did Super Eagles dominate them? Because it was really quite fascinating. Because since Super Eagles dominate the Tunisian side, those guys are really, really good. They are tactical, and they have a way to be compact throughout their games. They're compact defending, compact attacking. So it was really quite resourceful for Super Eagles of Nigeria to be able to go on even 3 goals lead before they had an equalizing, not even equalizing, they held to 3-2 goals. Now back to the Nigerian match, which we just talked about now. Nigeria and Uganda. This is a match everybody knows that Super Eagles already having qualified. Everybody's ready to see the new faces in the squad. Just like they had a change in the goalkeeper, they have the likes of Onochu starting. We have also Chukwueze started the last game. A whole lot of new faces were all introduced, and Uganda managed to steal one, while Nigerian side won by 3 goals to only 1. Now, before I get your thoughts on this, I just want to play some scenarios for you. The Uganda goalkeeper, they have a goalkeeper issue in this game. Having won,
yes, of course.
Having won, they had a slight injury, left. The second one came in, took a red card, left. Then they have a third keeper that brought the goals ready. Do you think that the scoreline was heavily affected by the goalkeepers?
First of all, the goalkeeping position is one of those positions where we rarely see a change, and it often comes only when there's an injury or there is some sort of caution, as in red card, or maybe at some point where they are heading for penalties, post-match penalties, and we see the gaffer change. So of course, that will obviously be a point that they didn't have their first choice keeper on deck. And coming back to the Super Eagles side, I will have to say that it is one of those teams in Africa where the entire 28-man squad has players who are top-level players. And of course, anyone who gets a bite or gets a chance to represent the country Nigeria will want to show what he or she can do. Because of course, having a team where Paul Onocho doesn't start, top scorer in the Turkish league, you should already know what squad it is. So of course, coming in, he needed to show who he is. I expected Nigeria, after seeing the first 11, I expected Nigeria to get the job done. Because all of those players in another team, that entire first 11 will start.
Exactly.
Of course. That's it. So it was certain for me Nigeria was going to win. I knew certain players were going to be rested, but then the entire 28-man squad for Nigeria, it's made up of top players. Who play in clubs that are quite, measurable. We're talking about
exactly.
Players
Premier League, it's Serie A.
Of course.
Now,
so yes, it was certain.
Now, if you have a quick look, you understand that Nigeria now happens to have what they call 9 points, being the first with complete points, 100% win, to migrate into the round of 16. Do you think that is expected for a club like Nigeria at this point?
Severally, many others thought that I mean, let me take it social media wise, that there were problems around Nigerian football, the Nigerian team, and all of that. But then, all of that always has a positive or negative impact. And I believe that the players and the coach, Eric Chell, actually took it positively. That, of course, they don't believe in us. We didn't qualify for the World Cup, but we can use this as the beat. We can use this as the bargain. And from the first game, the second game, obviously, I appreciated the second game more than the first, because we saw a team that gave the world what we expected. Though Tunisia showed some sort of resilience in the second half, but then Nigeria showed that they were a powerhouse, and of course today they kept on and they continued. And many people will say having 9 points doesn't guarantee you to win your knockout game, but then it is good to win to show your superiority, because a winning spirit keeps pushing you to believe that you can do it. Exactly. And I think that's what is in the Super Eagles squad. In Ivory Coast, we saw them get right to the final. So now I believe that these players want to rewrite a story. They want to rewrite their wrongs in Ivory Coast, and of course in their heads they have a final and they have a...
While we're trying to get you unmuted, we still want to have a look into the lineup for this game. You can see that Samuel Chukwueze was phenomenal in this game, having being one of the players that everybody's looking out for. And to me, he's ranked about my best player in this game, having provided 2 assists to one particular player. How will you rate Samuel Chukwueze's performance in this tournament? I know he didn't play the last game, but how will you rate his performance in this game and in the first game? Will you think he's going to bring in more? Are we going to see more of him in this tournament from the knockout stages?
Samuel Chukwueze is one of, the most gifted footballers in Nigeria, with flair. He's blessed with flair. When you watch him play, you actually know to be a footballer, and yes, he's living the dream. And of course, his impact will be needed. Because when you see him at club level, he delivers. And right now, in the Super Eagles squad, he will definitely be an important impact. And with the caliber of strikers the squad has, Chukwueze, minus the strikers, minus him being a supplier to the strikers, his lines breaking runs and penetrations can also open him up to scoring goals.
Definitely.
And that is what Nigeria needs. So of course, obviously going to be a good idea, a good fit for the team.
Okay, that's fine. So let's have a look what it means to the table. So the table, you can see Nigeria on top of the table with 9 straight points, having a good aggregate of 8-4. Tunisia second with 4 points. Tanzania at the third place ranking of just 2 points. So with what you're saying, do you think Tanzania can make it can actually make it, having only just 2 points to contest for the ranking of the third place? What I mean, third place ranking. Do you think they can make it? They only have 2 points.
It's already possible, because I think the pool A and B that got their game completed yesterday already have their third ranked teams with 2 points. So obviously Tanzania has a chance. Tanzania has a chance.
Looking at now, I just put up the third ranking on the screen. So Tanzania is currently at number 4 with just 2 points, and we have Benin 3 points, Sudan 3 points, and also Mozambique 3 points. There are still matches to play. So by the time these 2 matches play, they might actually get knocked out of that number 4 position. That's why, to me, I still feel that they might not still qualify for this tournament, and I don't think they might still qualify. I'll say tomorrow will determine where their fate actually lies. Tomorrow will determine where they're gonna stay or they're gonna go. Now, let's talk about the next bid that we have, which is in today's game, which is Botswana and Congo. But Congo, gave us a normal expected win of 3 goals against Botswana nil. This is what we call straight up expected scoreline. Do you think that's the same for you, Joshua?
I didn't get the question.
So I'm talking about, this is Botswana and Congo. That Botswana lost to Congo with 3 goals. I, on the other side, see this as an expected result. Do you agree with me on this?
To me, it's not unexpected.
I mean, Congo, it's an expected result. It's an expected result.
Yes, it's very much expected. Congo coming to the AFCON is one of those teams that we didn't doubt they're going into the next round.
Yes.
First of all, they are coming from a competitive. They've been together as they played the CAF. The CAF playoffs for the World Cup
playoffs. The World Cup playoffs. Yeah.
Yes. So immediately they went to preparations for the AFCON. So they were already ready. And you saw the game against Senegal.
Oh man, that was
their next opponent was obvious. Their next opponent was obviously going to suffer. It was already prepared from the Senegal game, because if you play against a team like Senegal and you get to tie them up.
Yes.
So Botswana, they suffered punishment of DR Congo's preparations after the Senegal game, and they needed the win.
Yeah.
They went all out for it.
Yeah, so I will say, for me, the highlight for me in this is between you have the Senegal and Benin. So this Benin Republic, this game was really an interesting one. Mane was more like a monster. Mane was a monster in this game. I give it to him. I don't know where Senegal will be without players like Mane. It was really an eventful match, because we have Senegal leading by 2 goals to nil before we had a red card. That red card I thought it was going to be a changer for the game, but for some reason they even have to top it up with a penalty at the end towards the extra time of the game. Now, this is all a drama, and Koulibaly will actually be so gutted that he got such a cheap red card against in a very crucial game like this. What would you make of all these events in this Benin Republic and Senegal?
Games like this are always tough, and a powerhouse like Senegal having to come from a draw against DR Congo, they came today with so much pressure, and the big names in the team obviously wanted to stand the test of time and see that they gain their qualification or gain superiority over their group without any issues. And a player like Mane, he's been African best, so we should never doubt he's still active. So always he'll have to deliver. And of course, talking about the Koulibaly situation, big players always have such moments, but then it is what happens after that tells a story of how big they are or how mature they've been in the game. So it's all normal. And of course, Senegal is one of those teams that whenever you watch in Africa or whenever you are anticipating your game, you see that they are favorites until the end of the game.
And one funny thing about this game is when they gave Koulibaly the yellow card, I was like, he got away with this. I was like saying, wow, did he get away with this? I was happy for him that he got away with this. So when I saw the VAR, I said, no, it's finished. When I saw it going for a VAR,
it's done for him.
He was. That's why he walked out from the pitch. I was even outside because he knew it was over. That was one of the dramas I saw in this game. I say he knew it was over when they went to the VAR. No, he knew it was going to be over. So let's have a look what this impact on the table. So we have Senegal topping the table with 7 points based on goal difference. They are sharing the 7 points with Congo DR, but they are on top there based on goal aggregate. Benin Republic is on 3rd position with just 3 points. I'm rooting for Benin to qualify. For what I can see, they are going to qualify. But Tanzania, Not too sure about that because I think their boys be going home. So this is
It's a
what the
tough one. I think Tanzania tomorrow will be watching the game with their with fingers crossed. It's going to be a difficult one.
yeah, it will be a difficult one. So looking at this, let's just have a look about you guys' game tomorrow. I know you have been in Agadir with the Moroccan side where they're training, preparing for the great match against Mozambique. How are the preparation right there in their camp? What would you say? How is the team spirit in the camp?
I think from the training, all of the players were on deck, everyone fit and steady. I think the only player who is disqualified for tomorrow's game is Chama, the guy who scored in the last game against Ivory Coast, because he has accumulation of cards. And during the pre-match presser, the coach said all of his players are ready to play, and of course, he is a tactician and always has surprises for the fans. So I think during the pre-match presser today, what was pondering through my mind was, in replacement of Chamada, is he going to go for defensive security or attacking output, or is he going to go for a like-for-like substitution his system? Because of course, having a fullback like Chamada is going to be difficult, and of course, I still trust him, and I believe he might still go for his initial system and then get to find someone suitable for it. I mean, he has players that can subtle for every other position. We have plenty of fullback in the list, and of course, it's not going to be a problem, and they are very prepared. But we don't right away Mozambique. They lost only 1-0 to Ivory Coast, and against Gabon, we won just 1-0, and then they scored 3 past Gabon before Gabon scored 2, and it was a 3-2. So playing against a team that has the best attack in the pool obviously puts you on a shaky stool. So it's going to be a difficult one against Mozambique.
Yeah, and looking for the likes of having Beleva, having Buemo, and right there in the midfield, because I can see the way the Cameroonian are playing is from the midfield. It seems that's where the whole business is being done. So what are we expecting from Beleva and Buemo in tomorrow's game?
You know, there's one thing I told one of my colleagues. Cameroon's game starts from Baleba. If he wins the midfield battle, everything, gets ready, because he is the one to start off the play in the midfield pack, aided alongside by Atu Avon, and then Dani Namaso comes in with that creativity to supply forward to Brian Bemo or either Etaeyong or Kofan. So I think, so I think if we get to have a power over the midfield battle, courtesy of Baleba's fighting spirit and top performance, is going to be an easy one. Brian Bemo can create wine out of water at any point in time. We know the kind of player he is. So, of course, if he is supplied, we are obviously going to get that output from him.
So, are you saying tomorrow's game as a must-win game?
Of course, it's a must-win game because it also decides who we are going to face in the next round.
Are you going to face the weaker side, or nobody wants to face the team that only finished on top of the table? Nobody wants to do that. Everyone wants to face a weaker side. Everyone wants to face a weaker side. Now, to trace back a little bit, the game against Ivory Coast, that was one of the most intense games I've actually seen. Having the likes of Dalo, making it, giving us what I call the Premier League standout with that wonderful finesse goal. There's similar things have been happening over time. We've seen a situation where teams like this come prepared for the game, and towards the end, it doesn't really work out. And we've seen Buemo still yet to find the back of the net. And this is something that everyone knows, that he is a hungry player who likes to dominate. And so far, we've seen so much of those dominance in the game of play. He has actually tried to actually stamp his authority in also in the midfield and in the final third of the opposition. But so far, this seems to be a thin line because Cameroon has only got 4 points out of the 2 games, having won 1 and not drew 1. So it's actually something debatable whether he might actually find the back of the net this game. But Mozambique, like I said, this is African Cup of Nations. There is always a twist. Am I rooting for Cameroon to win? Yes. Can Mozambique actually turn things around? Yes. Remember, Mozambique also needs that way to actually skyrocket themselves out of the 3rd position. So you can see why this one is really crucial. And I will bet every one of you, if you're not looking at this, better stay glued at your screen tomorrow. And if you're in UK, you can actually watch this on channel 4 because it's gonna be a match to watch. Feel free to go through all our past matches and check Matchday 1, Matchday 2, Matchday 3, Matchday 4. So check through all this and see how you can actually get up to speed on how things are actually working out. Now, back to what I was saying concerning Mbeumo. He's yet to find the back of the net. We know he loves to dominate in the midfield. He also loves to actually mount his dominance in the final third of the opposition. Do you see him find the back of the net? Because time is actually ticking.
The first game, Mbeumo gave the assist.
Yes.
The second game, he created the chance because the ball left Mbeumo for Kofan before the assist. And this game, tomorrow, he's going to get the goal. Okay. We know how good he is. And yes, of course, searching. And finally, he will get it tomorrow. But of course, the most important thing is him contributing to the performance of the team. Yes. The first day he didn't get the goal, but he got the man of the match. And of course, his teammate in the match against Ivory Coast got it. And of course, tomorrow, the only thing Mbeumo needs to do is show Africa that he is one of the best. Yes. Once he shows that's part of him, of course, he is going to be a stand-up performer, and I see him tomorrow scoring. So we might be getting another podcast just to talk about Mbeumo's goal tomorrow.
This is gonna be hard. I can't actually wait. Let me tell you, I just said that before we lost you, that tomorrow is gonna be a really, really changer in the tournament because it's gonna have a high viewership. Now let me break it down. Mozambique needs that 3 points even more than Cameroon. You know that?
I didn't get the question.
Mozambique needs that 3 points more than Cameroon. That's why I think it's going to be a very, very, very crucial match to watch. Mozambique right now needs that 3 points more than Cameroon. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, of course they need the 3 points more than. I think if they get a draw, it's good for them, but they will come for 3 points. I think when Coach Conde was talking today, he said winning their first ever game at the AFCON after 15 attempts, I think 16 attempts, then they eventually win, and they are already talking about qualification. Tells a story of a side that can obviously go that far. And even the left back Ronaldo Mandava, he said he didn't have words to describe how they feel after actually getting an AFCON win. So of course, Mozambique is coming tomorrow to win.
Yes,
they are coming to win. And if Cameroon blunders, of course, the story is going to be different. Mozambique beats Cameroon. So we should expect anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
I know, even as it stands now, I can tell you that both Cameroon, Ivory Coast, and Mozambique has qualified. As it stands.
Yes, of course.
As it stands.
Yes, of course.
So it's now a battle of who is superior in that group. That's the battle of who is more superior. This is a match I'm looking forward to see, and I must say, I'm going to get my popcorn ready, and bet you all here need to do so. And just to let you know, for our viewers, if you're joining us, please feel free to check out our previous episode of Matchday 1 down to Matchday 9 to make sure you keep up to speed with what is happening in the African Cup of Nations, and follow us on all our social media platforms on X, on Facebook, on IG, and also on LinkedIn. Also on our podcast platform on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, also on You have your YouTube podcast and all podcast platforms to stay updated on African Cup of Nations. So Joshua, I must say thank you so much for being right here, and I'm expecting to see you tomorrow after the big game. But before we go, I want to ask you, how is the vibe in Morocco?
Well, of course, as I said, Morocco, everywhere you go, I mean, the coffee houses, the shops, I mean, they are all full. The fan zones are full. The streets are full. Everyone is excited about the ambience. And there is one striking thing in Morocco. Everyone you meet in the street smiles at you, greets you, and is ready to help. Oh, are you from Cameroon? Are you from Senegal? Are you from Nigeria? Are you from? I mean, they try even in French. Tu viens d'où? Tu sors d'où? Tu es Camerounais? They are very welcoming, and I mean, football has given us a different image of the land of Morocco. And as a Cameroonian, looking at the roads in Morocco, the infrastructure, the stadia, I mean, Morocco is ready for this. And when you see them part of a World Cup hosting nation triplet, they deserve it.
Yes.
They deserve it, of course.
All right. Thank you so much.
But I must say, there are certain things lacking in Morocco, because if you want to get a beer, it's going to be very difficult.
Of course. Now, let me ask you one last time. Since we're going to get the beer, how about the food?
I must say, the food in Morocco, I'm not a fan of their food. That's one thing. Maybe it's because I'm not used to their spices or so. So if you have to get something good that you actually eat, that is normal.
What you already know.
Yes, what you know. Either you go to the McDonald's, or obviously you have to, of course, look for maybe a Cameroonian here that prepares Cameroon dishes. So that's just
I know. Just tell me you miss your Cameroonian dishes. Tell me you miss it. That does it. Tell me you miss your Cameroonian dishes. That's what I actually heard in all this. You miss your Cameroonian dishes.
Yes, of course.
Of course. I only have to say to the Moroccan fans and the Cameroonian fans out there, I want to hear your words to your Cameroonian fans out there. What do you have to tell them?
To the Cameroonian fans out there, many of us coming to this AFCON did not believe these boys were going to do anything. Of course, we had our coach. We had the coach changed before the tournament, but we had our own David Pagu put on the stool. He got the keys, and he's opened the door, and he's let us in, and we are dreaming. Cameroon can do anything. Against Gabon, we did the job. Against Ivory Coast, we started the game. We were a little bit, not up to the task, but then at some point we got into the whole game, and we showed that we could come back from any situation. So we are dreaming. I see myself leaving Morocco only after the 18.
Oh man, that's bold.
So every Cameroonian should be thinking of the final. You should not think less.
That's bold.
Of course. Very bold.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. You had it from Joshua.
And of course, when you are in the streets of Morocco, the fans say it. Wow. Thank you, Cameroon, for stopping Algeria from going to the World Cup. We are with you. We expect the final of Morocco against Cameroon in the final.
Okay. Time will tell. You had it first from Joshua Kosimbom. He said Morocco is there to hit it up on the final on the 18th. Like I said, here in Blaqsport, we're only here to watch and see what's going to happen. I am your host, like always, Tuche, and with me, Joshua, is signing out for today against tomorrow. Have a wonderful time. Ciao. Bye.